Your body always tells the truth. That's how they know. They can sense the extra little measure of caution added to your step as you tiptoe around them. They can see it from the troubled look in your eyes that you're starting to piece things together. Their dirty little secret is no longer safe. Neither are you. You just don't know it yet because there's no way to see it coming. Nor could you have predicted the drastic turn for the worse that your life was headed in, going full throttle. And by the time you even know what hit you, you're already waist deep in the destruction from their chaos, which is when you slowly begin to realize that the biggest lie our parents ever tell us when we're young is that there's no such thing as monsters. Though there wasn't really anything in your closet or under your bed when you cried out for them to come check after hearing something go bump in the night. Monsters, however, very much so, do exist. They're just not hiding in the places that we expect, nor do they look like Pinhead, Pennywise, or the mystical beasts that haunt us in our nightmares or our imagination creates when we're lost in unfamiliar territory or find ourselves alone in the darkness. Though ironically, after enduring the ongoing wrath and cruelties of these monsters, makes you wish you had a way to get in touch with Mr. Krueger over there on Elm Street, giving him a personal invite to your nightmare for a little game of tag, as at least this way it would spare you the prolonged, agonizing torture and painful letdown after every attempt that you make to blow this popsicle stand from hell only ever leads you to yet another dead end or fake door, as these monsters have strategically handcrafted the design of their twisted game so that every move you make leaves you trapped with no other choice but to continue playing. Every move is calculated and intentional, even when they disappear, leaving you anxiously stewing in wonder over what is on the itinerary for today's unleashing that you'll inevitably get from their next move. With each tick on the clock adds momentum to the whirlwind of thoughts roaring through your mind, as if you're on a boat ride with a Willy Wonka. There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going. All the while, they're out hammering down on their smear campaign, manipulating your family and friends with lies and rumors, and assure that you have no outside support system to fall back on, secretively sabotaging your credit, depleting your finances, and doubling down on their Grammy Award-winning performance, portraying themselves to be the victim of the crimes that they, in fact, are intentionally and maliciously committing in their relentless nature of devaluation, brain fuckery, and psychological warfare, until they have you so mentally pile-drived into the pavement that even if you manage to make it back up to the surface, you won't have the faintest clue of what's real, what's not, or if you're making it all up in your head, as you've lost all touch with who you are, no longer even able to recognize your own reflection staring back at you, and feel even shittier than you look from all of the excessive levels of stress and deliberate sleep deprivation, creating a level of exhaustion that you didn't even know exist, eliminating all of their concern about you even trying to escape because they know you now don't stand but a chance. You have nowhere to run, nowhere to go, no one to turn to or to be there to hear you if you were to cry out for help, which is precisely where they want you, because you are no longer a threat, knowing their dirty little secret. And with this, once again in safekeeping, they put a nail in your coffin, brutally and abruptly discarding you to go off wreaking havoc and sucking the life out of their next unknowing participant, shape-shifting and becoming whatever will suit best, as to come off as trustworthy and likable, mirroring their mannerisms, likes and dislikes, seducing their minds with flattery and charisma, whatever it takes to get their next target to buy in to this illusion, where they can then easily sink their monstrous claws into them while you're left alone, lost in the darkness, to scream in silence of your own hell. But even if they don't return, this nightmare isn't over. The entire world is caving in around you, invalidated by the people that at one point felt as if they understood, gave them a sense of belonging and added meaning to their lives, feeling now not only like they just don't matter, but were blamed, criticized, shunned, told they were being overdramatic, insensitive, foolish for being insecure, fragile, weak, becoming more convinced now than ever that they truly were the problem and that they can't trust themselves or their own judgment. Once again, returning back to scream in silence in a day and age where we have zero tolerance of bullying in schools or in the workplace, yet then have zero tolerance in wanting to hear about it when it takes place in the home, or develop temporary amnesia as to what to do or how to behave when someone is reaching out their hand for help. Not in a way of trying to burden you with their problems or get a free handout, but rather just in the way of them lending you their ear so that they can validate that their voice still actually has a sound, because they literally cannot bear one more moment of screaming in silence from within the hell that this monster has been dragging them around through by their ankle, face first. Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, 1 + 1 still equals 2. And even the most complex of things have a solution, even if we don't necessarily understand it. But not understanding something doesn't make it untrue. Yet, for some reason, this rule gets tossed out the window to negate what we as humans naturally fear most: the unknown, unpredictable, and unfamiliar. Monster, by definition, is an inhumanely cruel and wicked person who deviates from the norm, a threatening force with rude and bad behaviors that criticizes and reprimands severely. And that right there is like the very definition was written about narcissist. And as much as anyone who has looked in the eyes and dealt with this pure evil in human form wishes they could unsee that shit, because believe you me, if I could, I would in a heartbeat. But to be naive sets you up for such danger. These monsters are out to destroy you. Whether they're flying monkeys or Joe Schmo, they don't give a fuck, as long as they can get what they need. Be that in means using you for sex or watching you suffer. Either one is just as good in the eyes of a narcissist. No one deserves what these walking, talking, breathing real monsters bestow. You cannot save them, you cannot fix them, nor do they want any parts of your truth or your saving. But you absolutely can save you, as well as protect yourself from being at a high risk falling into their twisted vortex. Because I can assure you, it is no place to be, and getting out of hell is a whole lot harder than getting in. And there ain't nothing good, warm, or fuzzy coming from these demonic creatures, so focus on you. Fuck the narcissist.